why code is so powerful, why you need to be doing this. I mean, this is something you need to take the time to learn. You've heard that you should backtest and continually optimize your trading strategies, but that takes forever to gather all the entrances, all the exits, gather that data, run the statistical analysis, tweak it, do it all again. Well, what if I told you that the free active trade software ThinkorSwim has its own proprietary coding language that allows you to create trading strategies, much like the one that you're seeing on the chart behind you, so that you can automatically not only gather these statistics, but quickly change the strategy to decide what performs the best. In today's video, we are going to create a strategy so that you see how it's done. And I'm also going to talk about how you figure out what you need to code so that you can set up any strategy that you would like to within this application. So let's start with the fresh chart and let's create a strategy. If I go to my studies, edit studies, make sure you click on the strategies tab and then hit create. It brings up our modal where we can begin coding. I'm going to build a reversal strategy today. We're going to buy when the RSI crosses below 40, sell when the RSI crosses back above 50. And we're only going to buy if the current bar also closes above the 200 simple moving average. To set this up, we have to define these conditions for the machine. The machine doesn't know anything inherently. You have to build the building blocks before you can build the strategy, if that makes sense. So this add order function that's there by default, we'll need that a little bit later. We'll talk about it a little bit later. For now, let's just skip some lines. And I'm going to define a buy RSI. This is just the name of my definition that I'm instantializing here. You can call it whatever you would like to. I'm going to set it equal to the RSI is less than 40. That's the value we want to buy at. Hold on, what? You just typed in RSI and you didn't get any errors? The machine knows what this is? The best thing about ThinkScript coding is that the machine auto has built in any out-of-the-box study. There are, I'm not sure, hundreds, potentially over 1,000 studies that exist within ThinkorSwim. These are indicators that by default come with the software that you can add to your chart. Any study that already exists can simply be called in to your code. You don't have to recreate. You don't have to teach the machine what the calculation for RSI is. All you have to do is type in RSI, open and close parentheses, because we are calling a function, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But these are all representative as functions, so it's got its open and close parentheses, which include its default parameters, and that automatically tells the machine automatically knows, should I say, hey, this user in this code wants to use the RSI calculation. There is also a huge free ThinkScript learning resource handbook that exists on the internet. If you just Google search any indicator you would like to use in your code and ThinkScript, you will come up with this result from the ThinkorSwim Learning Center. And when you click on this, you can see the different input parameters that you can enter into the method, right? Because when you just open and close your parentheses like this, it just uses the default parameters. But of course, any indicator is just a math equation, and you can change the values of the math equation to get a slightly different indicator, right? So if I come back into this, the first one being length. By default, the length is set to 14. If I would rather it be set to something else, let's set this to an RSI length of 20 instead. That's where you input your separate parameters to make use and to potentially test. This is where you begin to utilize code to test what indicators work the best in what ways that fit your trading strategy. All right. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves there, but now you already 4 minutes into this video understand how you can call in any indicator into your strategy code. Hopefully that's very valuable to you in the future. Now, let's go ahead and keep building out our strategy. So we want to define our sell RSI equals RSI is greater than 50. And then what else did I say? Also, the close needs to be above the 200 length simple moving average. So we're going to define a sell MA as the simple moving AVG. And this, we are going to have to set a parameter because the default length is 9. This, as I talked about on the RSI, we're going to set this length parameter equal to 200. You're watching this video because you were interested in codifying your ThinkorSwim platform. I have published over 40 different strategies, indicators, scanners, etc. for ThinkorSwim on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. Click the link in the top of the description down below. Go to sign up. I promise you it's cheaper than you think it is. Alrighty, so we've built our Lego pieces. We've created a blue 2x2, a yellow 3x3, and a red 4x2 Lego piece. Now, let's put it together. Let's actually build the strategy using the pieces like we want to. If I skip a couple of lines down, I define a buy. All we want this strategy to do is the buy RSI, which means that the current RSI has a value less than 40. And conditional formatting, you can use and, or, for lack of a better term, or to combine your Lego pieces. And the close of the current candle is greater than the sell moving average, which we have defined here as our 200 length simple moving average. Next, obviously, we're just going to define a sell. And here, we're doing a little bit of overcoding. Since our only reason for selling in this instance is the sell RSI, you probably wouldn't need to build a separate line of code for that Lego piece, but it helped with the explanation. Now we've got some fun stuff to do to make this code work even better. So if I just go ahead and close out of this for right now, you will notice that every time the strategy enters, it simply buys 100 shares. That's because of this global strategy setting here. Default trade size for entry order is set to 100 shares. And of course, you could change it there, but really no trade strategy is just always trading a flat number of shares, right? It's normally dependent on your buying power and maybe other things. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to do an input instead of a definition, an input, and I'll show you why in just a second. And I'm going to call this BP for buying power. Oh, and I'm going to set it equal to, let's set it, wait, what did I do? Input BP equals, let's set it to 5,000. Let's say we have $5,000 worth of buying power. Now, if I come down to my buy add order function, I'm going to type in the trade size parameter whenever you are calling a parameter that isn't in the default order. So every method has a default order of parameters. That's why you can just do order type buy. Trade size isn't the next one, so I have to type it in. Trade size equals buying power divided by close. Now it will buy $5,000 divided by whatever the current price of the stock is. So you can see we're on the SPY daily here. When it was trading at 421, it was buying 11 shares each. When it was trading at 504 up here, it bought 9 shares. But remember, we set our buying power as an input instead of a standard definition. What that did, if I come into my studies, you can see our new strategy 13. I didn't ever give it a name, but you can see it obviously sitting there. If you hit the settings cog now, this is where you can change the value of input. So now simply from the cog, without even having to jump back into the code, you can change this. Let's say we want to take $10,000 position sizes instead of 5,000. You now see 19 shares, 23 shares. You see how the input is different from just a normal definition. Next fun thing I want to set up is I want to turn the 200 simple moving average on, right? I want to, visualize my strategy working, make sure the code is doing what I'm supposed to do and only buying also when the close is above the 200 simple moving average. Sorry, I'm watching my soccer team, Tottenham and Chelsea over here right now. Good save, Tottenham. Maybe that'll make the video, maybe it won't. What was I talking about? Oh, if I jump into the code here and I go to my sell MA, all I need to do is instead of having this as a normal definition, if I make this a plot, it'll still work, it'll still call the information, into, it'll call the Lego block into the construction just as normal. But if not obvious, now it will also plot the indicator on my chart. So I don't have to go in and separately add the 200 simple moving average length study. I can turn on a plot within my strategy. And I guess let's scroll out and just confirm. Yes, every time the strategy is entering, it is above that 200 simple moving average. It entered here because this is another maybe thing I should talk about while given the opportunity. The strategy executed here, but it didn't enter until the close of the next day. That's actually something we should probably fix in our add order code. I'm glad I just saw that actually. Whenever you have sort of your buy to open or sell to close, the third parameter in this, so this is your order type, why it executes, the condition for executing. The next parameter is price. I'm going to make the price close because it's a limitation of ThinkScript that the code won't execute until the next bar. Don't ask me exactly why. It's just how ThinkScript code executes. But if you set it up like this, if I hit apply and go back out now, you will see that it is actually executing at the close of the bar where the condition was true instead of the next bar. That's something I should have remembered to tell you while building the system, but right there is exactly why you use code and you turn on your plots like that so that you can test that your code is working properly, correct? All right, and maybe the most important thing, after you make a strategy, you of course want to know if it's working. Good thing ThinkorSwim comes out of the box with a study to do that for you. If you turn on the floating P&L study, hit apply, this is going to show you either the gain or loss, of course, of the strategy that you are currently running. You can see this strategy is up $10,200. Yay, yippee. Now, what you can utilize this for and why code is so powerful, why you need to be doing this. I mean, this is something you need to take the time to learn. Hopefully you guys that have taken the time to watch nearly this full video are going to take the time to learn it now, because what did I mention at the intro? You need to be continually optimizing your strategies. You need to test for what works the best to maximize your profits in the stock market, but it takes a really long time. I mean, how many trades is this taken on this chart? If I go to this and go to show report, maybe another useful lesson here, but this show report, it will show you the number of trades. Okay, it's taken 75 trades. Imagine having to find all 75, or it would be 150 because you'd have to find the buy and find the sell. Write them down on an Excel sheet, gather the statistics, see what you're up. Then what you need to do is you need to change a parameter. Let's try to sell when the RSI is above 45 instead of above 50. Now imagine, okay, you would have to go gather all those trades again only to see that it made it a little bit worse. Well, what if we sell over 55? Okay, now it made it a little bit better. Well, what if we sell over 60? Look, that made it even a little bit better. Wow, look, we're starting to learn some things about this strategy. Now, at least this isn't very in-depth backtesting. I've made separate videos on how you need to really in-depth test across multiple different subsections of data and multiple different stocks and multiple different time frames. We're not going to jump into all that right now, but you get the idea. I just ran like 4 or 5 separate tests there just with a few different, typing in keyboard button presses and mouse clicks. Whereas if you wanted to run just those tests just on this chart, it would have taken you 2 days to gather all that information, right? I just did it in 15 seconds. That's the power and the beauty of code. And let me do a little, potentially a little bit of advertising here, but I have my own custom, what do I call it? Data? Yeah, backtest data. I have my own custom coded study that shows me as well the win percentage, the average win, the average loss, the max drawdown, so that every time that I'm updating my codes, I can see those statistics directly on my chart as well, because those are just as, if not more important than just the gross P&L. So that one's available for download over on daytradingstrategies.net. Click the link in the description down below. Wink, wink. I can't wink. Did you know I can't wink? Can anybody else not wink? I think I'm the only 31-year-old in America that can't wink.
Trading stocks. He talks about trading stocks. It's important for you Americans and other international individuals to learn about stocks.